Hey guys, Coach Nate here from The Run Experience. Today I have a special treat for you. We are gonna dig into Mo Farah's strength and weight training workout. We're gonna go through the whole workout that he does, show the exercises and break them down so that they can be accessible to you, as well as a little analysis of it. You know, what are Mo Farah's positions? How could he improve his mobility and his range of motion? Let's dig in. So a quick overview of Mo Farah's workout here. He is going to be doing a set of squats. I think it's 3 rounds of 6 squats at 95 pounds. He is working on a set of bent over rows with a dumbbell, and then he's doing a dumbbell bench press. All 3 good, safe movements that really any runner can do and are super valuable. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, let's dig into Mo Farah's strength workout that he posted this year on his YouTube channel. Really excited that he's sharing this, really excited that one of the best runners of the world is really leading the way and showing how important it is for all runners to do strength training. And the purpose of this video is to actually go through his workout and his technique a little bit, just to see what we see and if there are any ways where we can learn from it on what he's doing well and on things that, you know, maybe even Sir Mo Farah could improve a little bit. So he goes to this video. The first thing he starts with his little back squat. He's kind of talking about it a little bit. And I just wanted to show you some things that I really liked. Just for reference, he's got about 95 pounds on the bar, which is, you know, not the heaviest thing, but for a competitive runner who's running high mileage, you know, the purpose of just a little weight turns everything on in the body and helps him stay balanced as a runner. So that's really, really important. He's got himself set up right here, just watching a few reps. He's going through a few range of motion. And what I want to do is actually go through his form a little bit and just point out a few things that I see that I think could be beneficial for all of us. So in this next frame, we start to see a few more slow reps. Here it is. Here we go. And I want to point out a few things that's really good with a squat. First of all, squat is something that's a whole body exercise. It's not just something for my quads or my hamstrings. And that's why lifting with, say, a barbell, doing this big, massive multi-joint movement where the hips, knees, and ankles are all involved is such a richer experience than just being on a leg press machine or doing a hamstring extension or knee extension on a machine. He starts with a good posture. I can see this is like he's just starting to move, but just before that, he had a nice straight line from his ears, knees, hips, his ears, shoulders, hips, knees to ankles. His hands are on this bar. I'd like to see those elbows pulled down a little bit more actively. And what that's going to do is really engage the lats and keep this upper back turned on and straight. When the elbows start to flare, I tend to round and get a little hunched forward, which gets me in trouble. He doesn't do this too much, but I'm just pointing that out to you. The other thing I like to see is that his back stays straight. Now, sometimes we talk about squatting and we want to say, hey, I want my chest up as tall as possible. With back squatting, I don't have to be as concerned about that. The things that I'm going to talk to you about are going to be to make sure that my back stays straight and supported and that I am flat and even through my feet. So these two things are really, really good. The other thing he does really well is that he initiates nicely by pushing his hips back behind him. And what that does is it really loads up his glutes and his hamstrings in addition to his quads. If he were to stay upright and push his knees forward, he would put all this weight into his quads. It would put a lot of pressure on his knees. It wouldn't feel very good. And he wouldn't get a lot of strength in his hamstrings or his glutes at all. And chances are he might come up onto his toes a little bit at the bottom. So those are all really good things. And just again, you can kind of see that, you know, squat going through. I want to go back to this movement as we see, because I want to point out a few more things as we start to go through. So he's got all those things going well. I want to talk about depth for a second. And there are two things that I see here. Number one, he only goes about here, halfway. And this could be because Mo Farah is being a little bit more conservative as just an elite runner who's running a lot. He's worried about going low. This could be his coaches have told him that he couldn't go any lower. It's very common to hear to stop at about parallel. It's actually not necessary for squat form is good. You should be able to squat lower. It's really good to improve your range of motion in your hips and your ankles especially. But the other reason why he may not be going lower is he may not be able to. It's very common with really high-end runners who spend so much time running and not as much time doing other things, is that certain parts of their body start to stiffen up, specifically their ankles. And what I'm starting to see is he starts to go through this squat and I go backwards. He may be running out of range of motion in those feet, and just very subtly, Mo Farah is a great athlete, so you can't see it too much. I can see those ankles just roll in a little bit. His toes are turned out a little bit more than I'd like to see, which is basically telling me in a combination that, maybe this is the limit of range of motion he has in his ankles and he can't go any lower. If that's the case, Mo Farah, keep squatting here, but if you're able to improve that ankle range of motion, you'll be able to squat with a little bit greater depth, which will give you that much more mobility and range, which may in turn actually help your running. So those are some of the things I see in his squatting. Again, this is high fives all around. I think it's so cool that he's doing this and that he is sharing it with all of us. Now he does, next thing he does is an upper body workout. And he pairs this with actually two other little movements here. So let's see if we can go to it. So he does a row, and the benefits of these videos that Mo Farah does is that he keeps them pretty short and to the point. They're all about 3 minutes, and he doesn't talk too much. He just kind of works on the movement. So basically the idea of this upper body row is that we're working on our upper back and our shoulders. This will help us run with a little bit upper body. The other thing we're starting to do is that this is our arm swing, if you can sort of think about it this way. Working on elbow extension out the back and a little bit of shoulder extension is also improving my arm swing. So we got those two things going on there. The things that I like: he's keeping everything pretty square. He's got one knee on this bench, hands supported on the bench. You could do this unsupported as well, a little bit more core strength, but this is just a great way to work on a row on one side. And again, theme back is nice and straight, supported here. And as he rows, he's twisting a little bit with these shoulders. I can see that shoulders dropping a little bit there. And as he starts to come up, probably comes up back to neutral. I'd probably like to see these shoulders not move at all, but hey, I do rows too. You get tired, that shoulder dips a little bit, so not too bad. Kind of keep that a little bit straighter, and then he's working on the other side. Guys, the other benefit of this, especially in the world of high intensity interval training, this is not high intensity. He's working on heavier loads that is stressing the body. It's going to elicit an anabolic response. He is able to be slow and controlled and work on his movement. He's lifting in front of a mirror. He's doing this in a controlled way. He's not crushing himself, and he's staying safe. So all those things are really, really good as he does that. Staying strong through here. And then he's got this one. Now, this is where I'd like to probably see some slightly different improvements. When we watch him go through some dumbbell bench press, it's not too bad. This is an okay movement. In all honesty, guys, you could probably start with push-ups as a nice way to do this without equipment and to really work on your shoulders. He's doing okay. What I'd like to see is these elbows tucked in a little bit more on his side and his elbows not flared out as much. The other thing I'm seeing is that it's kind of hard to tell, but this back might just be arched a little bit. That tends to happen when we get tired, when we push. So making sure those abs are on really tight, his butt is squeezed tight as he does this. But again, not too bad at all. I think that is the gist of this workout. So again, he's got his back squat, he has his bent over rows, and then he has a dumbbell bench press. All three pretty quality movements. 2 upper body, notice 1 lower body, and he's getting some good reps in. I'd say keep the elbows tucked in a little bit more by the side, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. Good job, Mo Farah. Again, guys, good workout, and well done, Mo Farah, for sharing all of your strength things with us. I would say that if you guys are looking to substitute any movements, or even for Mo Farah himself to add different movements in addition to the squat, I would say that he could work on some push-ups, some weighted push-ups. He could do a standing shoulder press, working on a little bit of overhead shoulder mobility, which is super valuable for runners. And instead of the bent over dumbbell row, he could work on some sort of ring row or row with a pair of TRX straps or a pull-up. I think all of those things would be just as valuable and good things to mix in. And guys, if you're curious about how to do any of this stuff yourself, make sure you check out our YouTube channel and look for all of the strength exercises that we put out all the time on how to do this stuff. Again, thanks again. Hopefully you found this helpful, walking through Mo's workout and looking at some of the technique that not only applies to him, but applies to all of us as well. Hey guys, Coach Nate from the Run Experience. Fuck.
Did I not look at you?
Hey, one more thing before you get out of here. Make sure... I'm doing all kinds of things today, guys. All kinds of things. Hey, let me know what you thought about this analysis video. Go ahead and drop a like and also a comment down below. Any questions, follow-ups, ideas? This is kind of new for us. We're excited to do it, and we may want to do more of these types of videos. Of course, subscribe to our channel as well, guys. We've got new videos on running, strength training, injury prevention, coming at you each and every single week, nutrition as well. Make sure not only when you hit subscribe, but you hit that little alarm bell, because that's gonna give you little notifications every time we drop a new video so you can be in the know. Do you wanna keep watching? Well, I've got a nice video just right over this shoulder right here that should pop up. That will be excellent watching right after this. And speaking of, guys, I gotta feed the beast. I gotta keep filming. I'll catch you in the next video.